Have I told you guys about the illiterate South African gardener who ended up training doctors and participating in one of the first heart transplants in the world? Grab a bowl of popcorn because you're definitely going to love this one. His name was Hamilton Naki. Hamilton was born in a tiny village in Eastern Cape. He was so poor that he had to drop out of school at 14. A few years later, he got a job at the University of Cape Town as a gardener, to sweep the place, to keep it nice and all of that. But here's the thing about destiny. It doesn't ask for your permission. So one day, Hamilton was asked to help in the medical research lab. Just simple things, hold that equipment, bring that equipment, and stuff like that. But then the surgeons began to notice something unusual. They noticed that this illiterate gardener had a calmness, a steadiness, a precision that they couldn't even teach. He could watch something just once and repeat it perfectly. It was as if his hands were built for surgery, but life never gave him a chance. And then slowly, they started relying on him. Now remember that this was South Africa during the apartheid. Some reports have it that at some point, he was part of those teaching medical students. Several years passed and he continued to learn and learn and learn and learn until one day, in 1967, the hospital where he worked decided to do a heart transplant. There was one problem. Nobody in the world had done this procedure successfully. Reports have it that Hamilton was one of the surgical assistants that made that operation possible. Think about that for a moment. The illiterate who started by cutting grass ended up performing one of the most important medical procedures in recent history. But that's where the story changed. In recent times, people have started questioning the details. Some say the stories were exaggerated, that Hamilton was never there in the theater during the operation. In fact, the more you dig, the more confusing it gets. Different witnesses saying different things, missing records here and there. Some say that because this happened during the apartheid regime, that the official records can never be trusted to reflect the truth, given that he's a black man. The truth is, we may never truly know what happened that day. But here's one thing we know for sure. That a young man with no education ended up becoming a master of surgical technique. The truth is that sometimes the most extraordinary hands come from the most unexpected of places.